Brings that dimension. Armando Bacot, until the end of his career, wasn't much of a three-point shooter.
There's Withers. How about a three? Right in the center of it.
Yeah, this is a different zone. This is more of a 3-2 look, but it morphs into a man.
Oh! Jae'Lyn Withers from up around the banners.
Loves his team shooting the three ball, over 20 a game last season.
Jae'Lyn Withers trying to capitalize on the dunk and does with another three.
Kansas is going to hurt you. Withers made a couple of threes against Davis. Nice look. Withers. It is a two-point game. Cleanly on this trip, it looks like they have. Davis got the switch. Withers is open again. And this time he hits it.
Tough assignment here for A.J. Storr to try to stay with R.J. Davis.
Withers thought about it, puts it on the deck, and Carolina's on top.
When you watch teams that chuck up a lot of threes, think Alabama. Well, they do so very quickly in the shot clock.
Withers off the shot fake, a ferocious two-hander.
He's actually been on the staff at Carolina. He was on the women's basketball staff a couple of years ago. 2 years here with the men's team as the director of team and player development. There's Jae'Lyn Withers.
Forces you to have to play their pace. They're going to run after makes. They're going to run after misses. Even against the zone, they don't want to wait. And you see the beautiful cut. Has to be smart enough to make sure he does not get an offensive foul. I think it's taken away some of his aggressiveness.
From the corner, that is Withers. Place of Shimon Zapawa to begin this second half.
We still need to hear you say Zapawa.
We will get to it hopefully there. The reverse layup.
Carolina in a drought, closing in on 2.5 minutes without a score. And Withers.
Baseline out of bounds, turned over. George wanted Dongo, and Withers the flush.
And now they got a mismatch underneath. Looked like White got away with an elbow, and there's your takeaway. Davis to the rack, and one.
Well, in North Carolina, too, they haven't been settling for the three. They've been attacking the basket. Great defensive play.
They like his future.
Well, we talked to Fran Dumpy yesterday, and he said, for the last 5 games, they've been a great finish there.
But Florida putting North Carolina in a danger zone right away. Godot's pass tipped, Washington rolling inside. Back for slam. Up and in by Withers.
Transfer from Belmont. And a really good three-point shooter.
Godot stepping inside. And one, and a foul.
In transition, and Rain Smith made him pay.
Davis splits the double. Great pass. Withers throws it down.
Nice transition bucket by Shrewsbury, and then a good job by the Irish to get back defensively.
Alley-oop!
But they didn't match up.
Regular season game on a Sunday in Greensboro. Yeah, before the Smith Center opened. Here's Withers at the foul line. He'll knock down the jump shot.
Remember, they average over 85 points a game.
Jackson into the corner. Withers the shot fake. He'll take off around Traore. The scoop and score. Wow.
Of ACC conference action. And this is a time where they could have just spent on the East Coast.
Here's Withers off the steal. Well, Wilkins played over the top of the Van Allen Lubin screen. And Withers from the corner.
It's a lot of both, but the players really have to adapt.
That's it. You got to understand the way the game is being called and adjust to it.
Bang! On target.
Down in Knoxville, and a great atmosphere here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Critical bubble game between UNC and Pitt. Both teams shooting it brilliantly.
The middle of the zone and have some good success against it, especially with offensive rebounding.
It is something they really haven't done all season. Worked on it.
Significant in a double-double against Duke on Saturday.
Davis through the lane and out of the corner. They'll knock down the three.
Couple, he's got 8.
He pulled the Archer out at one point, hit 2 in a row.
Withers. And Jae'Lyn Withers is tied. Good transition defense by Bell. Powell inside. Withers again. Saw Super Flag do it here in the Dome about a week and a half ago. And he was pretty neutralized offensively, but still impacted the game in a lot of ways. Withers again. That is some finish by Jae'Lyn Withers.
Withers. And he's got it again. He wanted a foul. Got 4.
He was asking for a foul. He got that rear view mirror challenge defensively. Good call.
The 6'10" Blake Buchanan having to make plays in comparison to the guards for Virginia.
Go with a kick out. And swished in by Withers. Murray with a shot clock down to 9. Nothing new. Virginia whittling down that shot clock before they get one in the air. Saunders and a block. So a 21-9 advantage. North Carolina try to get in deep. And a corner jumper will go down big time, calling for movement. Wants a long one. And a rebound taken in by Withers. Second effort, here it comes. Got it!
Of course, the great notorious D.O.B.
Cadeau with the shot clock down to 7. Kicks it for Withers. And he hits it. They got fouled on the play.
Yeah, Ewan missing a pair. Nice feed. Powell with the stuff.
I think that's something that has to be looked at when this season is over, because
should be reviewed.
2 minutes. So please don't say that. Withers launching and buries a triple.
None of this exists without the people that came before us. Big House Games was a big piece of that.
On the drive and the scoop and a strong move by Withers.
Livingston-like release on his mid-range game. High release, tough to contest, and he makes a high percentage.
Reset of the shot clock. He fired quickly. Reset to 20. Cadeau will race down the other end. And the slam. Good follow by Withers.
Get a layup or not. You just sit down. Good things happen.
Cadeau, Lubin, and Withers. He is 16 for 25 from 3 over the last 6. Withers cans another.
Rebounds. They haven't missed many shots. I mean, heck, they're 12 of 16, so it's tough to get shots.
And they've added 10, now make it 8 points for Carolina. Flag the pull-up, no. And Withers comes down for the rebound.
A nice job by Drake Powell of switching out to challenge that shot.
Withers goes by, Malawat scoops it up and in. Withers wide open. And Carolina.
Overtime win against Cal. Not much of a guy that you feature on offense, but nice bucket on that end is Withers.
Tried to interrupt Cadeau, but he got free of it. Davis will swing. Guess who's open again? Withers. And hits another one.
I'm not sure why he hesitated.
Leaving the ACC with but 3 bids come Selection Sunday if they don't make it. Duke, Clemson, and Louisville. Here's another one way downtown by Jae'Lyn Withers. Point lead for Carolina, their biggest. Mohammed reversing field, blocked away.
But I'm sure that's the same thing Jae'Lyn Withers was thinking coming into this game.
Get greedy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be in this game.
Withers got it.
But the Demon Deacons unable to turn it into second chance points.
From the corner, Withers. Yes! A 3-pointer.
Bowles, I should say, down in the middle of the floor, but blocks a lot of shots. 66 this season coming in.
So the turnover issues for Carolina. That's a 3.
24 from the floor. You get shots like that, you can see why he's shooting 80%.
Boy, Aztecs desperately needed that. Open 3.
Out there on him, Brakefield, who's longer, taller, and will defend. In the corner, a fake, a dribble, and a fire. Got it. Nice shot.